Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You're gonna help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
All rise. Both parties raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Thank you. You may be seated. This is the matter of Paul Ford versus Charles Smith. Mr. Ford, you're suing him for $2,400 in medical bills, and you say it was caused by his negligence. And of course, you, Mr. Smith, said, I owe him absolutely nothing, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And I might acknowledge that you have a pretty mean face on this morning. You mad?
I am upset.
All right.
I can't hide it, and I won't try to. I am upset, Your Honor.
I just know what I'm working with. Mr. Ford, tell me what happened.
Well, I rented from Mr. Smith here, moved in to his home last June with my two boys. My ex-wife and I just recently got a divorce, so we needed a place. Minor things happened throughout, but just getting him to fix it. Faucets, leaky faucets. One underneath the kitchen, there was a leak.
Well, was it the kitchen faucet that caused you the danger?
No.
Okay,
but this is just ongoing.
Okay,
leading
you
up
just
to
let me
this.
know you have ongoing problems with the property that he
Yes.
refuses to acknowledge.
He doesn't refuse, but it just takes a while for him to fix these things.
Okay. So now, what caused you to get a medical bill?
So the medical bill, it was the first storm of the winter, around January last year, and my desk, the room that this incident happened, was my work office at the time, and I noticed that there's a puddle of water on the table on my paperwork.
Okay.
So inspecting, I hope I didn't spill anything, and it's coming from the skylight.
Okay.
So I called Mr. Smith up, can you please fix this for me? Seal it, whatever you have to do. He comes up, yes, I'll get to it. The next day when it's stopped raining, he comes over and it's an aerosol spray, a sealant that he used on the skylight. And I thought all was taken care of at that point. This happens again. The next month we had another storm. And again, here goes the leak again. I have to call him again. And, of course, we're waiting for the rain to stop. He
How long
comes
did you
in
wait?
and spray. A couple days again for that one.
So it leaked for 2 days?
It leaked for 2 days.
What'd you do to prevent the leak from damaging your furniture and whatever else was in the room?
I moved my desk.
Okay.
So nothing would get damaged. Of course, we put towels, bucket, anything we had to do.
I don't
while
know.
We're waiting
Did you
for the
put
rain to
towels in a
stop.
bucket down?
We put towels in the bucket down.
Okay.
But, while it was leaking in that process, but, obviously we know we have to wait for it to dry up.
Right.
But he had just repaired it, a month before. And then here we go again with the same issue.
Okay.
So that fix, it's duct tape fix, Your Honor.
What do you have to say?
Your Honor, I'm Charles Smith. Folks call me Charlie. I am the landlord. I own this house. I used to live in this house. Mm-hmm. And I'm a licensed contractor. So this was not duct tape work, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm a professional. I do professional building, professional repairs, and I do top quality work. I do it for my clients, and I'm certainly going to do it on my own home. I just need to make that clear.
So then what happened?
So then all is well for a while. I mean, we had, Southern California, it's, a lot of hot, sunny days. So no issues with that. I actually converted that room to my son's playroom, especially with the summer heat.
From your office to the son's playroom?
Yes.
Okay.
And we we approach the winter time again, and here we go again with the another leak. So I call Mr. Smith here. This is not kosher. We need this fixed. So his solution.
So all during the summer, he didn't do any repairs on it.
There's no repairs. I mean, there was no leak, but there was also no rain.
Okay.
So, I call him up again after I see puddle on the floor this time. This repair is not working. You're duct taping this problem. So he tells me he has a special sealant that he's ordering, and he's going to repair it. So for the time being, he lays a tarp on top of the roof, and to not let any water come in. We're in the middle of another storm. So, we're waiting for that sealant. Of course, I try to keep my boys out. As, his direction, he says, stay out of that room. Try not to use that area. So boys are boys. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. And they run into the room, grabbing toys and everything. I try to get them out. As I'm getting out, I didn't see the puddle, and I slipped and fall.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
When I left for vacation, the sealant wasn't in. I went on vacation. I come back to find.
So wait a minute. When you went on vacation,
Yes.
the sealant wasn't in.
No.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Paul Ford, who is suing Charles Smith for medical bills.
So you slipped and fell,
Yes.
and you went to the doctor, and what was the injury?
Yeah, I blacked out for a second. It was a hard hit on my back of my head. So I called my ex-wife. She came, took the kids, and we went to the emergency room. Because it was a concussionary protocol, they kept me overnight. So now they're running cognitive tests on me, and of course I'm using my insurance to help pay for this, but the deductible only goes so far. So henceforth now I have a medical bill, $2,400.
And that's the $2,400 you have to pay after deductible?
After deductible, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you still left with $2,400.
Still left with $2,400.
Wow. Do you have a copy of the bill, the copy of the diagnosis?
I do have a copy of the bill, Your Honor. It's right here. From St. Teresa Hospital.
Yeah, I know one night's visit to the hospital can cost an arm and a leg, so $2,400. So what was causing that leak?
So the leak itself did not come from the installation of the skylight. It was coming from the acrylic covering over the skylight. And there was only one leak.
When you say only one leak, was it only one time?
So I just put this skylight in for the tenant just prior to Mr. Ford.
Right.
And actually, I did not install it. I was very busy at the time, so I had another contractor put it in.
Right.
And then what happened was that other renter moved on, and he rented the house, and he was the first person to complain about the leak in this skylight. So I went up on the roof, and I could see that there was a crack in the acrylic of the skylight.
Crack in the acrylic.
Yes. So if
Can somebody show me that?
I'm sorry?
Does anybody have a picture of that?
Yes.
I have pictures, Your Honor.
I have a picture as well.
This is the
The
inside.
crack in the pillar of the skylight.
No, in the
and
acrylic.
this is the
Acrylic.
outside.
Oh, separate.
Yeah, outside and the inside photos.
Okay. I don't know which way I'm supposed to be looking. Inside, I see see something that looks like a leak just because the ceiling is brown. I assume it's a leak.
Yeah, this
All
is the
those
outside.
places are leaks?
No, they are not all leaks. Only the one that is on the right side of the skylight itself, that was the one that was causing the leak. The others, so as
don't have a pin or
I'm looking
anything,
at
right?
it, would be the right side of the skylight.
Okay, let the bailiff point to it. Point to it for me.
You're referring to this
Is that the one
Yes,
that's the
that
skylight?
one right there is the one
That's
that had
where
the
the leak was?
Yes.
So what's all those other marks?
So when I went up there to repair this leak, I saw that there were other sort of imperfections in the acrylic that I thought could possibly lead to other leaks. So I had the aerosol can with me, the aerosol sealant with me. So after I fixed that leak, it was a leak, I just, as a preventative measure, sprayed over those other areas to prevent other leaks from developing.
Okay.
And then it's just over time, under the sun and things, the sealant turns brown and it discolors
I got
the
it.
acrylic.
But now, okay, so you put the sealant on there the first time.
Yes.
He says
Your
a
Honor.
month later it was leaking again.
So the second storm came through, and it did. It was leaking again. And I went back up there, and the way I looked at it was it just needs another coat of this sealant. This is a thick, it's not plastic, but it's like a very resiny type spray patch that you put over it. It's an accepted permanent way to take care of leaks. And I put it over again to stop the leak, and it worked. It did stop the leak.
Until it rained again.
And then we had the long dry session and the heat. And then, so what happened was it leaked again. And that was when I realized, look, this aerosol stuff isn't working. So I did some research, and I found that this silicone sealant that is special for leaks in acrylic. So it's not an all-purpose thing. It's specifically for this kind of a skylight. And I can't buy it, though, like at any big box store or someplace like that. I have to order it special. So I did. And in the meantime, I told him.
So you waited till the third time to order this?
Yes, but I didn't know it existed the first two times. I was just using this can, but I had to order it and take a week to come in. And I called Mr. Ford and I told him it's going to be a week to come in. In the meantime, I threw a tarp over it just to make sure that even though there was no rain forecasted, that it wouldn't leak. And so when I left for vacation, the sealant wasn't in. I went on vacation, and I come back to find.
So wait a minute. When you went on vacation,
Yes.
the sealant wasn't in.
No.
Should it have been in? Had a week passed?
No, it had not.
When did you go on vacation?
I would say maybe 5 days after I had gone up and sprayed that, put the tarp on, and I had already ordered the sealant, but it wasn't due to arrive for a couple more days.
Coming up,
But he went in the room knowing that there was this issue, and he slips and falls. Yes, I am responsible to fix that leak, but I can't control his movements in the house, especially when I warned him.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Paul Ford, who is suing Charles Smith for medical bills.
And when you went on vacation, where'd you go?
Mexico,
How long did you go?
for 5 days.
Okay. Go on.
Okay, so when I returned from my vacation, I found all these very angry messages from Mr. Ford telling me that he had slipped, he had fallen, and he had to go to the hospital and all this. And it upset me. It upset me because my tenant was injured. And it upset me because I had told him, he had told me that he had slipped in this room, and I had told him, you need to stay out of this room because, especially if it rains. And it turns out that while I was on vacation, I had checked the weather. There's not supposed to be any storms, but a storm came through, and it blew off the tarp and water got inside. And what I'm saying is he knew that it leaked, water got on the floor. I understand boys will be boys. They went inside the room even though they were told not to. But he went in the room knowing that there was this issue, and he slips and falls. Yes, I am responsible to fix that leak, but I can't control his movements in the house, especially when I warned him.
It's a leak going on in the house. You had 2 children. That's the room that they play in. They play in there, or he has 2 children in the house. Are you telling me that he's supposed to control his children to the point that if they go in there and he goes to pull them out, he's not supposed to do that?
No, Your Honor, not at all. I'm just saying that if he goes in that room, he should, exercise a lot of caution going inside.
Coming up,
The only thing I'm saying is he should have shown some
Okay, so
caution
you're talking
going
about what he should have done, and I'm telling you what you should have done.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Paul Ford, who is suing Charles Smith for medical bills.
According to his testimony, he ran in to pull them out. What kind of caution was he supposed to exercise?
Well, just look on the ground. See, look, the leak was coming from one location. It's not like it was moving around the room. It was in the same location. Just look over there, see if there's water on the ground.
I think a reasonable safety thing to do when you know there could be an issue like that was for you not to go to Mexico before it was repaired. You said the sealant was due in a week. That's 7 days. It had been 5 days since the order. It hadn't come in. You left for Mexico and was gone 4 to 5 days. So you're gone past the 7 days when you should have been back to fix the roof.
Yes, Your Honor, but...
So I can say that to you, that you shouldn't have gone to Mexico. Or you should have made sure that the roof was repaired before you went to Mexico because of the fact that you could not guarantee that there would be no more rain. Yes, he said don't go in the room because they should not have gone in the room because he recognized the danger. But you're dealing with children, so they went in there. He goes to get them out to try to prevent the danger, his children from getting hit over the head if the roof come in. So he did what a parent does. He responded to a circumstance.
And I agree, Your Honor.
And not unreasonably.
The only thing I'm saying is he should have shown some
Okay, so
caution
you're talking
going
about what he should have done, and I'm telling you what you should have done.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
He should have shown some caution. You should have repaired the roof before you left, or made sure it was repaired before you left. Now, I'm going to tell you as a tenant, when you're having a problem with a piece of property that you're renting, and you give notice to the landlord that there is something happening with that property, that it's not, you're unable to use it in the manner intended, and it's causing issues for you, once you give him notice, you have a duty to repair. You have a duty to repair within a reasonable time.
And
you repaired the first time, and it didn't repair. So now here's the second time. Your duty the second time is to guarantee it. And because you failed to do that, that was your responsibility as the landlord. And because you failed to do that, he was injured. And as a result of that injury, it caused him a medical bill. And as a result of that, you're responsible. It's called negligence. And that you're liable. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,400.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,400.
Hey, man, I'm sorry you got hurt, but come on, you know there was water on that floor.
3 times. 3 times. I mean, you got to do a better job. You're a contractor.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.